Welcome to Off the Court. We're here in Hull and it's away side London Pulse. They got a victory tonight, 51-49 over Leeds Rhinos. And I'm joined by, I'm not even sure they need introductions. I'm not even sure they need us. Geva Mentor and Funmi Fadoju. If you've been listening to the conversation sprinkled with a bit of Karen Gregg over here, you definitely don't need introducing. Ladies, how are we feeling after that game? Funmi, you just told me you're very tired.
Fatigued. Just that.
It's all that jumping.
Yeah, so much, but you know what, we enjoy it.
I'm a little fatigued as well, you can hear by my voice, but I want to get straight into the game. It was a very defence-heavy game. Greggy, we were talking about that a lot. The scoreline, 51-49 in the end, it shows just how much turnover there was.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think, you know, I said both of these teams are capable of putting 60-plus on the board, so the fact that it was a low-scoring game shows the defensive efforts that were put in. I think the number of turnovers that you were forced or that you won was immense across that 60 minutes.
So basically we're blaming the attackers for the loss. Is that what we're doing? Yeah, sure. Okay, I want to get straight into the nitty-gritty. Talk to me about the penalty count. So it was 57, I think, to London Pulse tonight, 70 to Rhinos. And Jeeves, you were up to that point where it was going to be a suspension. I sort of looked at you and you did the whole roll to the bench. How hard is it at the moment to play different styles, and especially coming back from Australia, being back into the Super League? Like, what are you noticing?
Yeah, it's probably quite frustrating. I think just that each umpire is very different, whereas I felt in Australia you kind of knew what you were going to get and you knew what you can contest, but over here every umpire has their different thing, and I actually thought the umpires did really well for the first three quarters. They were very fairly sort of contested between both teams, and then as soon as you get on an umpire's sort of brainwave, then they just sort of tune into you. And definitely for me at the end there, if anything that I would have done next would have sent me off the court, and I think it's just not worth it with 2 minutes to go and obviously a bit more of a season. But yeah, it's definitely been an adjustment there, but at the end of the day we can't just moan about the umpires. It's about helping them and supporting them and making sure that they've got the right tools out there, and I still think netball is probably one of the worst officiated games out there, so let's help it. If we want to grow the sport, let's make sure we help and support them as well.
Yeah, and I think it's so important. I think we learnt the hard way, didn't we, Greggy, internationally, that for a long period of time England would get pulled out of the game, and we've had to really adjust and adapt to that.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that's probably, as Geva said, the way the game is umpired from nation to nation. It's that consistency of what actually is being blown, and you know, not just from nation to nation, it's from league to league. You know, what's being blown in the NSL compared to what's being blown in SSN, ANZ, and so on. There is a difference. So, as you said, that education piece is huge, and I know that Gary Burgess is doing a really great job over here to make sure that that education piece is in place and it's working.
Gary's also going to love that name drop, by the way, just FYI. Well, Funmi, I'm going to come back. Thank you, ladies. You're welcome, Gary. So, Funmi, I want to come back to you then. So, with this penalty and the adapting, not only to the umpires, it's also to the shooters. And you guys were up against Joyce and Vula, who we spoke about pre-match, loves the body. So, what was that chat? Because we saw Hallie Adio have a little chat with the umpires at half-time. Like, how do you adjust that? And is it all the prep work in the week before?
Yeah, I feel like we knew what was going to happen in this game, and we had to talk about it and basically work out a different way to get around her, and we did. I feel like we just talked about being off body. Like sometimes against such a person who like loves contact, not contact, but like, loves on body work. You just have to get off and learn to work. And learn to work in a partnership. So we worked together well together today, and she was able to come around so cleanly. But at the same time, you just know you have to keep going on and off, and just keep changing it up each quarter.
Right, well, look, I'm going to get straight into the questions because we've had loads. Shocker for these two. The first one is actually about your little friendship and your partnership, and they came running over here, and before I got a hug, Geva was straight in there with the sweaty hugs with Funmi Fadoju. So how has this partnership been? Because, you know, she's a bit old now, and she's been there, done that. And I heard you shared rooms on tours and all kinds of stuff. So what's that together?
I feel like, so when I first came into the England programme, obviously I had Geva there to kind of like take me on her arm along with the other players, and she was just so kind. And I feel like just having someone who actually has such role models. I knew about her from a young age, obviously, watching her play, and she's like, I think everyone can say she's like amazing player who obviously you want to be more like. And yeah, just having her by my side, it just makes everything so much easier, isn't it?
I just feel so fortunate to be able to play with the likes of Funmi. The next generation coming through are phenomenal. You got yourself and Hallie and Raz, and there's just so many amazing defenders. And I think over the past, us defenders, we've liked to sort of stick together. We've been a pretty chill group. We've been pretty excitable as well. And I think it's just nice that you guys are flying the flag and I guess just burning that flame for us, and long may it continue, because I think defensively we like to stay pretty humble, but we like to go out there and do our job too. And I think just the likes of Funmi is definitely the epitome of that.
Oh, look at you two. That was lovely. Well, we've had a message from Beverly Queenie. She said Geva, any hot tips that Funmi has taught you?
Hot tips.
Oh, hang on, no. I know Geva too well. I'm going to rephrase that.
What audience is this for?
No, hang on. Child friendly. Anything you've seen Funmi do on court that you're like, oh, I could bring that to my game?
I would love to say the hops, but I think the age of me, I'm declining on the elevation there. I think it's just the fearlessness, and I think we talk so much about obviously having the ability and the skill out on court, but it's having the confidence just to go. And Fooms just reads the game so well, and sometimes she sits in those positions that she can hunt anywhere on the court. And I think for me, and particularly as a goalkeeper, it's so important to not forget that. And I think sometimes you get so focused on these tall shooters and sticking tight on body, but actually just have to be fearless and just come off the body and have a hunt.
Well, Funmi, what about you? You must have seen something from her.
Just the game smarts. Like, I'm hoping I get to that stage one day. Obviously, your lean over the shot as well, and your ability to come around the body to get those tips and then hunt them as well. Like, I'm trying to learn it, and we've all been watching your game. Literally, Hallie's like, I need to learn what she's doing here. And yeah, I'm just learning that over the time. And yeah, you're so great at it. Yeah.
Greg, I want to talk about the defence of the shot then, because Geva is one of the reasons I stopped playing goal attack, because I couldn't shoot over her. You managed to do it. But talk about the defence of the shot, because I still say Jeeves is probably one of the best in the world at it.
Yeah, I think the key thing for me around the variety is important. So not just leaning over the shot, and it's understanding from when I used to play against you, Geva, I think you understood what my strengths were and how you could kind of go up against that. So the right-handed, where's your release from? What's the timing of the release? What does that look like? And I think Geva's ability to be able to lean, to jump, to play the double cannon, to come in from the side, that variety just messes with your head as a shooter. And I think sometimes these youngsters coming through, we don't spend enough time with our youngsters learning how to defend the shot, and that's definitely something, you know, if kids can get video of Geva, it'll be a masterclass on there, you know, marking that shot. We saw it at times tonight. If you get into a shooter's head early, then it's really difficult to pull out from that.
Well, I'd still like to know, I have a scar on my right wrist from Geva Men's from Geva Men's follow through on this shot. And I think, look, this is a really important point, and especially playing in the SSN, we know that the shooting stats have gone up around the world. Like, players are rarely missing now. So how important is something as subtle as that?
Yeah, huge. Definitely the variety. And I think what we forget about is sometimes as soon as they get there, we stand dead in front. But I think it's about playing with those angles, changing up the timing, trying to get in the head, but also making sure you do the work beforehand. It doesn't just come down to the lean on the shot. It's making sure you grind out your player prior to that. And you look at the likes of some of the defenders around the world. I think over in Team Girls Cup at the moment, Shamira just rejected 2 shots straight away into the shooters sort of for the rest of the game. So I think anything we can do there. I know Fooms has got the hops to be able to do that. It's just all about the timing, but working together and building that pressure.
Well, let's get into the technical thing. Kaviti Cat, I'm sorry if I get these tweets wrong, but how on earth do you mark super tall shooters like Fowler, Cholak and Nweki? Go, Funmi.
Jump. Just jump, yeah, that's the first one. That's what I can do right now.
Funmi jumps, I move my feet.
But I love, we were talking about today, like some of the technical, your role around the backspace is impressive. And actually, Funmi, for you coming in from behind as well, because I think we get so caught in, like, you know, you go for a back and up, but it's not just as straightforward as that. Talk to me about this coming in behind and getting above.
Yeah, I feel like me and Hallie have worked it a lot, knowing that you're not always going to get in front of the player and be able to, like, get that hold and, you know, jump, but sometimes you actually have to get around the body and come from behind as well. So knowing actually when the ball's in the air, when to get behind the shooter and actually flick the ball towards yourself or flick it towards another player, and just learning different movements like that.
I thought they did that really well tonight as well, and we've been working on with England, and I can see you guys working it with the trap behind. And I think at the end of the day, if you're up against someone who's faster than you or taller than you, you don't have to battle them by yourself, and you've got your body out there, and particularly in the circle for any sort of young defenders, is the ability to have that person to come up behind and trap so the shooter can't go back any further. And then Fumi's got fantastic angles and timing to be able to sweep in and I guess attack that high ball in.
Well, it's all about the partnerships, isn't it, Greg?
Yeah.
And we've been talking about it at Thunder this year. Josie Huckle, she's thriving in your Thunder defence end. And I worked with Josie a long time, and she's taken that opportunity up in Thunder for your style. So just talk to me about how important it is, those partnerships, how they work with not only in the circle but out the front.
Absolutely critical, and I think the defensive units that we saw from both these guys today, there was times where they were setting up the box defence, there was time where, you know, they just played a split circle, and for us working with Josie, it was just getting her comfortable playing in the structures that we wanted her to. She was very much on the body, and we still do at times tell her to stop humping the goal shooter. So it's really important that the confusion of space and being able to play in a unit communicate, which we know Josie can do, is really, really important. And I think it's not just happened overnight for Josie. I think, you know, those connections with Shadeen and Ella, and when Kerry was in there, it took a good probably 3, 4, 5 games to even get close to where we wanted us to be last season. And there was frustrations, you know, in that unit, because that comes when you're trying to develop something new. But I think how we're wanting her to play and what we're wanting to do is really starting to come to fruition, and she's starting to reap the benefits of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've had another one from Jess Eldley and loads on this. How to increase your elevation? I mean, can you increase it any more? Surely she's just born with it. Okay, go. We're all ears.
I think it's just years and years of gym work. Like, I've been like working out since like probably 10 years old. Like, and I did high jumping when I was in. Yeah, it was. I did do athletics when I was younger. So a lot of plyometric work in the gym, and just pretty much that.
Do you still do your plyos? Do your knees take it?
My knees have got limited amount of jumps in them, so yeah, very sparingly. I think also it's about the angles and the timing and having that confidence to not get stuck on the body, and so the footwork around it. You can have the beautiful natural talent and ability like Funmi has here, and you can have someone like me who has to kind of work at it and try and make sure I've got the right positioning for it.
Well, I have one more final question on this, Funmi, because everyone's asking this. What about your arms? And no, we're all just massive. I've literally got a question. What is Fumi's workout routine, those arms? You're just going to drop down and give me 10? Nah.
I guess
In the gym, she doesn't do an awful lot, but they just go bang. Like, she looks at the weights and it's like bang.
I want to say it's genetics, but yeah, I'm going to call out to the post SNC coaches. They are working me hard in the gym, and yeah, just a lot of gym work. That's what I can say. Yeah.
So basically, what she's saying, Greggy, there's no hope for us. We're not getting arms like that.
Absolutely, I'm going to stick to my jumper.
Well, listen, you two have been absolutely brilliant. We said it was a superstar special. We've actually got more guests coming up on Off the Court this week. Some celebs heading towards the Pink Ribbon Foundation charity match, which is going to be at Wembley on the 7th of April as Mavericks take on their big arena game. But just turning my attention back to you guys, I mean, we're only slightly into the start of the season, but the connections you lot are all building as a whole defensive unit, how happy were you with those at the moment?
We're so happy. Like, obviously there's so much more work to do, but we're taking it game by game, match by match, and you know what, we're going to keep building on it. But so far, yeah, this is some good stuff to see. Yeah.
Jeeves.
And definitely for us, we're still figuring things out, but I think we're starting to find that consistency now. It's just about having it for the 4 quarters. The partnerships that we're having in the circle and out the circle are definitely building, and I think that's the way it is with Rhinos. We had such a high turnover of players, so it's trying to build those connections pretty quickly instead of having almost the pre-season to do it. We're having to do it during the season, but as you can see, score lines are starting to get closer, and we're coming.
I like it. Well, Greggy, you've got your big match against Loughborough Lightning tomorrow. Any tips from you guys about how they're going to deal with Mary Chollock?
Yeah, you've both played us so far.
I'm not gonna lie, it's going to be a very hard match, but you guys got it.
Get
Yeah.
Josie
Do that layup. That layup's so annoying.
Just stand in front of her.
That's definitely on the game plan.
Perfect. So no layups for Mary Chollock. Karen Gray will be absolutely fine. Manchester Thunder versus Loughborough Lightning. Geva Mentor says she's coming for it. I've got to let these guys go because this one needs to sleep. And that one's having a sleepover with Sonia McCloma tonight. It's like we're back in 2004. But anyway, thank you so much for joining us on Off the Court. We'll, of course, be back next week with more star guests. I'm not sure we get any bigger than this, though.
I don't think so.
We can try.
Yeah.
We can try. I hope you enjoyed this evening, and we'll be back real soon.
Well, it's a slightly different episode of Off the Court this week as we do a celeb special. We, of course, spoke to Geva Mentor and Funmi Fadoju at the match this week, and you don't get bigger stars than that. But I'm really excited to announce that today we're going to be chatting to one of the top psychics in the world, Sally Morgan, and British actress and comedian Nina Wadia. And I'm so excited to have you both here. Welcome, ladies.
Hiya.
Hiya. Well, listen, a little bit of background of why we're doing this today and why we've got a special. As the Netball Super League looks to go professional next year, each of the teams are looking on to put big arena games on. And on the 7th of April, during the Easter break, it's Saracens Mavericks. It's their turn to put on their arena match at the Ovo Arena in Wembley. And there's going to be so much going on as they take on Manchester Thunder. We've got support acts, but more importantly, we've got a celeb game kicking off, warming up the court before the big game. And this is why I'm talking to these incredible ladies today. The celebrity charity match is run by Pink Ribbon Foundation. And Nina, I'm going to start with you because you are one of the celebs lined up to take the court at Wembley to warm up that court for us. And I want you to tell us a little bit about the Pink Ribbon Foundation and why it's important. I know that you got an OBE in 2021 for your charity services.
Yeah. Oh, well, so Pink Ribbon, I've been with them for years. There's a lovely, lovely woman called Lisa, who actually approached me at an event I was at, and she said, I'm not going to take no for an answer. You're going to come and support my charity. And she has shocking pink hair as well, so you can't say no. But it is a fantastic charity that raises money and awareness for everything surrounding breast cancer. And it's a subject that, of course, affects, women all over the world. And I thought it would be a very, very good cause to support. And Lisa always comes up with very inventive ideas of how to raise money for her charity. And this is one of my favourite things because I love netball. So she didn't even have to ask or threaten me this time. I just said, I'm doing it.
I love that. No threats allowed and an opportunity to play netball. And like you say, just the correlation between the charity and the impact of having a celeb charity match as well. It makes perfect sense. Sally, I know this isn't your first netball game. You've been roped in before. So clearly Lisa has huge influence over you all.
Well, she does have huge influence over us, and especially me. And I'm, very honoured to be an ambassador for the foundation, which is such a wonderful. It's become really, as Nina said, I agree with Nina and endorse everything that Nina has said, but it's also now become a bit of a satellite for many areas of cancer, which, in the last few weeks has been so prominent in everybody's minds. And so it's a wonderful charity. I'm only 5 foot tall. I had never in my life played netball because I was always turned away from the netball court at school. They just didn't want me. They would look at me. Yeah, no, they didn't. I mean, well, I was 4'11" then. I mean, when I had my first daughter, I was only 4'11", and then 4 years later, I must have grown. I was so young, another inch. But literally, maybe they put me on a rack as I gave birth or something. But anyway, I'm now 5 foot, and it's a biggie for me, but it's a challenge. And there are people out there that have got far bigger challenges than me having a game of netball. So I look at it as something that I'm willing to do for this charity. And if you knew me, which most people do know me, family and friends, I'm not really into games, you see, because he's trying to remember all the rules. And games have numbers, and I'm useless with math. So anyway, luckily that I normally have somebody that's attached to me. She's pushing me everywhere when I get over there, boom, boom, boom. But I'm really looking for. It's a fun day, isn't it, Nina?
Yeah,
we have a
absolutely.
laugh, don't we?
Absolutely. I mean, that's, to be honest, the more important thing, but what is very interesting, when we've done these before, for some reason, the women get really competitive.
Yeah,
and, you all start off really friendly, and it starts off with more, how do I tie my shirt so it looks sexy and shows my boobs off? That's how the celeb match starts. And by the end of it, it's practically women's rugby.
Well, it is. It does remind me. Well, I was sort of being shoved. I thought, I'm being shoved.
Sorry about that, Sally.
This is a pretty violent game, netball. I know I'm going to get a ball in my head in a minute, which I did many times, I have to tell you. But basically, well, if I can't, like this, please. And I'm 73. It's a bit like, hello a minute. So it's there proving to everybody that you can get out there and do it. And for a whole year, I've promised myself that I'm laughing. I'll practice, but I haven't. So I'm just as bad as I was last year.
Well, that is fine. Look, there's loads there to pick up on. I'm going to quickly come to you, Nina, then, because Sally was there talking about the challenge, and I love that, and I think that's what's so important about netball and how the two projects sort of align. But I know you've got a new musical coming up, and you said to me before we came on air, it was sort of, wow, it was terrifying, right? It's something completely new. You've not done this before. And then you're just going to throw into the mix playing netball in front of 3,000 people. So just talk to me a little bit about the new musical and the challenges of that as well.
Well, I mean, look, to keep myself, I think, fresh in my career, because I've been doing this for 35 years now, I like to challenge myself, or else I get very bored. My husband always makes a joke. He's like, I'm surprised you're not bored of me after 25 years and have changed husbands several times. But yeah, no, I like a new challenge as an actor, and I'm not a trained singer. So I am working really hard to be able to sing the stuff. And it's called Now, that's what I call a musical. It's all set in the 80s. So it's all the songs we know and love. And we have a guest sort of star every week, which is great fun. We've got everyone from Jay Osmond to Sonia to Sunita to Pau, you name it. They're all coming on board. And it's lovely because it's an empowering story about friendship between two women who were very close in the 80s. Then their lives grow apart, but actually they intrinsically stay friends. And I think that's something that actually connects with, you know, with games. I'm such a sporty person. In fact, I thought I'd be in sport if I didn't go into acting. So for me, the story of friendship connects greatly with my time playing netball at school and things like that, because you form these fantastic friendships. And there's something about team play and just being part of a team that to me is really empowering as a woman. And that's why I can't wait for you guys next year to just explode and implode, because how exciting would that be?
Yeah, well, it's huge plans for netball behind the scenes at the minute as we move to that professional era. And Sally, I wanted to pick up, I wasn't going to ask you your age, but you told us anyway.
Oh, I'm 55. I have no issue with that.
No, absolutely not. But I love the fact you were talking about this sort of challenge and openly, you know, I don't do games, I don't do this. But talk to me about how important it is to sort of keep fit, keep healthy, and keep pushing yourself, regardless of age and sort of other experiences before.
Well, I think that you're talking about being a team player. I very much am a team player, even though my work can be slightly isolating because, you know, it's very niche area, and also it's just me that does it. But I worked for many years in the NHS. I was a nurse and a dental nurse. So you work in a team. So I'm very used to having people that you inspire one another. And there's no doubt about it that the Pink Ribbon Foundation is incredibly inspirational. And, you know, I feel that playing netball is getting me out there and it's keeping me moving. You know, if you want to be... it's not, I don't really like the term staying young, but to remain agile and mobile and motivated, you've actually got to move your body. You know, I really feel that. And I am somebody, I like to do, I'm very independent. I like to do things on my, always have done. Even when, you know, obviously I'm a widow now, but when John was alive, I used to do everything. I didn't wait for him sort of to say, do this or do that. I just do it. And I'm still like that. So I think that a game of netball, it's a good thing. I can't wait. And for me, because I don't want, it's a serious game. Listen, it's a serious game. It's going to go professional, everybody. But it's, I'm looking at it as a fun day for me because I'm more than an amateur. I'm like, zero. So
No, Sally.
No,
I'm gonna need help getting that ball in that net. There's no doubt about that.
That's fine. I think we're going to keep you in the mid-court at this rate, Sally, because you're already giving away your height. But I think what the really important message.
What does that mean? Wait a minute. You're not getting a. What's the mid-court mean?
That you're doing a lot of the running, dictating, Sally. You're in charge. I think you'll be great. I think you'll be absolutely great.
Right. Okay. Okay.
But I think you've raised some really important points. Netball is inclusive, right? It's one of the most inclusive female sports around, and it has such a family environment. I know some of the big sort of programs that England Netball have run in the past in terms of back to netball, the uptake of that people that played it at school came back to it and went, hang on a second, there is an option for me to do this now and build those friendships. And I think that's one thing that's totally underestimated about how special those and unique those sort of friendships are within female groups and how empowering that is. Nina, I know you are a bit of a netball nerd. You love netball.
Love it.
You started it at school. Do you want to tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, well, I mean, I was saying that for someone who's only 5'2", I'm not far off you, Sally. I can actually shoot. I played goal. I used to fight for the goal.
Oh, listen to her. She's so professional.
No, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And the thing is, we used to do this thing at the end of, like if we had a big tournament in school things, they used to get people on to see how many goals you could get in under a minute. And for years, I would get so many in, and I loved it. But that was when I didn't have a defender who was about 7 foot tall standing in front of me. But it's just such a fun game. As you said, it's so inclusive for women. It's it's one of those where everyone gets a chance to kind of try every position and just enjoy it. And, we laughed so much the last time we did this. I remember at one point, I think I had a ball thrown into my stomach because I wasn't paying attention. I was laughing so much. And then I was down on the floor. But there's this other thing that very recently, actually, there's a group of ladies who advertised that they were playing netball locally. And I realized it was a slightly rough game. And I thought, what the hell's going on? And I realized they're all prison officers. Playing against female prison officers. I thought, hang on a minute, I'm not an inmate. Take it easy on me, man. Calm down.
That is brilliant. But I think that's the thing, right? There's so many little pockets and leagues and clubs and opportunities for women to get out there and play. It's just finding those. Just want to quickly mention, because you were obviously on EastEnders and with Shane Ritchie for a while, and he's contacted me a couple of times about netball. He loves his netball too. Please tell me EastEnders had a netball team.
Oh, I wish we did, honestly. No, we had a comedy team, but we never had a netball team, and that would have been unbelievably fun. I think we did rounders once at a barbecue, but that's all I remember.
Is it just girls that play netball?
No, huge uptake in men's play now, mixed netball as well. Yeah, and this is the thing. There's been a huge shift over probably the last few years. Men have always been involved, but there's been a massive push towards the men's side of the game as well, which is great when we're talking about boys and girls playing, and also breaking down those barriers. Netball's always been seen as sort of a female, girly girl, schoolgirl sport, and actually that's just not the case anymore. Sally, now I know that you are a bit competitive as well. Have you seen the celeb list? Who's on your team? Who do you want?
Jess is lovely, isn't she? I love Jess. Jess is a good friend. And Nina, I remember you, Nina. And we've met a few times at the Pink Ribbon
we did,
bits and pieces that we do, the gatherings. Tell me who else is on there?
So we've got Paris Smith. Well, we've got some from Made in Chelsea, The Real Housewives of Cheshire. We've got Mel Shilling, Jay McGregor, Paris Smith.
Oh, they're going to be brilliant.
I just all of them on my team with short nails. That's all I want.
We'll do a nail check. Don't worry, we'll get that sorted.
Yeah, somebody mentioned that to me the other day.
Oh yeah,
is that? Is that the ball then?
Show me your nails.
I've already cut mine in preparation.
What's going to happen then with my nails?
You'll go backwards. You'll hurt yourself. So cut them short.
What about eyelashes?
You're fine. Your eyelashes are fine. Anything else is fine. I expect spray tans and the lot.
Oh dear.
Well, listen, ladies, we're coming to the end of the interview. Give me a couple of reasons why we should get more people to come down and watch the game at Ovo on the 7th of April, and also come and support the Pink Ribbon Foundation. What are your thoughts?
Sally, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, come down, because you're going to see me get shoved around. I'm going to fall flat on my face, and everyone's going to think I'm completely hysterical for the wrong reasons. Come down if you want to love. Listen, come down. It's a great day. You are supporting an incredible charity. We are going to see the professionals as well. There will be girls on there that are the professionals. For me, that's mind-blowing. Do you know what I mean? Just to look at these young girls doing this, it's like I'm in awe of them.
Completely.
It's going to be a great day. It's going to be a great day.
Well, I second what Sally said, and I just said, look, you're doing two things when you come along. A, you're coming along to have fun and watch some incredible women play netball, professionals and celebrities, and also, more than anything else, is supporting Pink Ribbon Foundation and raising money for a charity that is really important for women all over the world and for their families.
Yeah,
amazing.
Definitely. Yeah.
Thank you, ladies. Look, we're really looking forward to seeing you out on the court. I can't wait. Sally, I promise you won't be falling over in your face.
Yeah. Are you playing?
I'm gonna help.
Yes.
Can
you help me?
Yeah, don't.
No, you've helped me first. No, she's
What do they call it when you're next to someone all the time? They call it something.
What, the marking?
Yeah,
marking. Can you come and be my marker and help me?
I'm going to help you. And I tell you what, if I help you, Sally, I have to ask this question before you go. Can you just let me into a little secret? Are Saracens Mavericks going to win the league this year?
What colour do they wear?
Black
Is it
and
blue?
Red. Black. Oh,
Who wears blue?
No. Who wears blue? Well, no one I want to win the league. Tell me Saracens.
Saracens are going to win.
I mean, they've got a very good name. It sounds... But as you were talking to me then, I just saw a blue strip.
Okay.
Listen, but before you go, girls, what do I wear on the bottom?
Well, something would be helpful, but any
Yeah,
leggings, shorts,
leggings.
skirts,
I can't wear shorts, girls,
all right,
please.
leggings are perfect, Sally. You look absolutely spectacular. I cannot wait.
Oh, Nina, I can't wait. And you can practice your singing on the sideline.
Oh, sounds good.
Right, well, thank you so much, ladies, for joining me this week. It's brilliant to get out to, again, a new fan base and to also talk about something that's really, I think, important to all of us in all our works of life. So we look forward to seeing you take the court. It's going to be an exciting day on the 7th of April. And thank you for being involved in such a great charity as well.
Oh, you're very welcome. And I love that. Sounds so good, didn't it? Take the court. I mean, I love phrases. I'm going to take that court. That's what
yes, you are.
I'll look after you, Sally. Don't you worry.
Thanks, ladies.
Bye, guys.
Bye.